And welcome back to Open. Daren Jaime here with you as we bring you, yes, open, but from another different kind of perspective. A lot of people are having to be forced to go from remote and home and other locations. And we here at Open are committed to bringing you information. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring you information, we're going to bring you content. And we're glad to have two very special guests that can really speak to the issue and the matters at heart right now. Uh, Talking first with Lisa Sorin, who is the president of the Bronx Chamber of Commerce, and then also Michael Brady of the Third Avenue Business Improvement District, better known as the Third Avenue Kid. And both of you, thank you for joining us here on Open.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Good. And Michael, let me start. Well, I should say, well, let me go to Lisa first because you're the chamber president, and I know that a lot of businesses, small businesses, have been forced to close their doors, restaurants, bars, and the like. Talk to us, Lisa, from your perspective, as far as Bronx businesses and what you've heard with regards to COVID-19 and how it's affecting Bronx businesses.
Well, I think it's devastating, and I'm sure everybody's feeling it across the Bronx. The sentiment is some people are confused because they really don't understand if it's that big of a deal or if it like everything really moved very quickly. And then I've had conversations with restaurants, and it's disheartening to hear how customers stopped going in probably about a week ago or so. And now, with it shut down completely for sitting down, their businesses are completely empty. I had one business tell me that they're not sure if they can survive this process, but we're going to try to do everything we can to provide all the information. But it's really disheartening and heartbreaking. The Bronx is in a position to grow, and businesses are just opening up on a daily basis. And this kind of like turned the clock on us.
Yeah, Michael, I think we were talking a little bit about this offline a little while ago. Like, if you're a business and you're kind of struggling and you kind of like struggled right before this COVID hit, this is definitely going to take you in a downward spiral and possibly force you to even close your doors.
Yeah, you're right. The reality is very sobering. On Third Avenue and probably throughout many of our commercial districts, we're looking at extraordinary circumstances where many of our businesses who are forced to shutter will most likely not reopen without significant assistance from the government. And consumer foot traffic is down, and as it should be, people should be heeding the warnings of government. But this is really having a significant detriment on our small businesses. And it seems like every day, every hour, there's new information coming out, and we are just now seeing a concerted response from both city, state, and federal partners to start to roll out a plan to assist small businesses. But even in the short time that's taken, a lot of small businesses are struggling and will most likely have to close their doors.
And so, Lisa, give me a little bit more. I mean, as small businesses are going to be forced to close their doors, we talked about restaurants, we talked about bars. Are there any contingency plans? Are they asking about contingency plans for what could possibly happen given the wake of what's going on?
I'll tell you, we have been bombarded, rightfully so, because this is what we're here for, about questions. I mean, today alone, with the possibility of shuttering in for a few days or God knows for how long, the businesses are asking, what does that mean for my employees? Do I pay the employees? Is this covered by insurance? Will the subsidies that the state or the federal government providing cover those? They don't want to break the laws, and the taxes are due in 4 days for sales tax. And so I don't have answers for them. So, and a lot of people are so concerned, a lot of business owners are so concerned about their business that they don't have the time to really research all of that, right? So this is what we hope we're here for, my team and I, to research it. But I think the biggest problem we're having right now is there's a lot of questions and legal questions, right? Because while everything is going on and everybody's concerned for the health of their employees and the business, people are also concerned about making sure they stay within the law. And so there's this push pull of, if I do the wrong thing, will I pay for it after the fact? Right. And so while we're trying to ease the tensions of everything that's going on, we also have to reassure them of legalities and what can they do for their employees or what they don't have to do for their employees, right? So it's the big unknown. I think if anything, it's the fact that they don't know who may be sick. They don't know how to take care of their employees. They don't know what their business is going to look like in another week. So it's so many layers, but we have tons of emails, and what we're trying to do is organize those questions and reach out to anybody who can give us that information at City Hall, at the state, and then try to get back to every single business with those pieces in a very simple format. Because I think right now everything is so overwhelming.
Michael Brady's with the Third Avenue Business Improvement District, better known as the Third Avenue Bid. Michael, give me a little bit about, as we talk about Third Avenue, what's it look like? Some people said it seems like a ghost town around New York City, and it seems like a lot of people are just basically headed for their homes and a lot of open streets. What are you seeing as far as Third Avenue?
Yeah, Third Avenue, we're in an interesting situation because, we're a transportation center. So we move anywhere from 350 to 400,000 people a day. And it's a lot of the stores are beholden to that foot traffic for their sales and their revenue numbers. So when we take a hit, even a 25% hit on foot traffic, it really has a detrimental impact on our small businesses. And on Third Avenue, we have seen a plateau in foot traffic and a decrease now in foot traffic, and we are concerned for the small businesses, particularly as the mayor and the governor consider, the shelter-in protocols, and that will have some real high impact on our small businesses. But I'm really grateful because all of the business organizations in New York City right now are working with a coordinated response. So the Five Chamber Alliance, the BID Association, New York City Department of Small Business Services, and our elected officials are all working in tandem to get as much reliable information and answers to our small businesses as possible. We realize that it's frustrating because businesses need and they want answers yesterday. But it's taken some time to get all of the municipalities, states, and the federal government and our organizations on one page to move ourselves forward. But I think that we're very close to being there. And over the next 24 hours, we should see some real services and some real programs rolled out to assist our struggling small businesses.
Lisa, how's this going to affect you? I mean, obviously, you say we're all forced or confined to work from home, but how's it going to be for you, particularly given the fact that small business is the lifeblood of America? The Bronx has so many small businesses. How are you prepared to really deal with the next coming weeks? Next couple of coming weeks, because things are not going to get a slow down. They're going to become more intense.
And I expect them to become more intense, right? So we've been working round the clock for the last few days in trying to figure out how best we can serve our members and the Bronx across, right? So our partners with the bids, we've got some powerful partners across the entire borough. So it's not like the chamber can do it by itself. We really it's a collaborative effort. And then I have my colleagues at the other four chambers. So I think we're going to be taking small steps because most of our membership is small businesses, under 50 employees, maybe. So I think it's a matter of education. We will have foot on the ground once we're able to get around and get some information. We have committed to our members in email format that we will help with applications. We will become, experts in all these applications that the city and the state are putting out. We'll reach out to SBS and see what services they can provide. I think that jointly there's enough organizations that we can partner with to provide answers, right? And so we don't know how big or how hard this will get. Our commitment can only be that bring the questions. We're asking everybody to provide us questions and use our email so that we can gather all those questions in a format that we can answer them and get that information out. And hopefully with BronxNet and all the other media formats that we can use to figure out and how best to get the information into the hands of businesses that really don't have the time to sit in front of a computer.
Yeah, it's hard to think, and talking, Michael, a few weeks ago, we were just talking about the big problem for small businesses was the whole issue of like paper bags, right?
Right.
And the whole paper bag controversy. And now this seems like, a small thing compared
Absolutely.
to
I mean, yeah, the plastic bag ban was one of the larger issues that we were talking about, and how businesses were going to finance that, and what we were going to do for safeguards and legislatively, and you know, a couple of weeks ago, the most pressing thing on our mind was trying to have the public advocate delay paid vacation bill.
right.
Fast forward a week and a half, and we're really dealing with business survival. And I think that we're very lucky to have a Bronx chamber that's been very proactive in creating a business survival guide and acting as a funnel for all of the business questions, so we can streamline that and get answers from city or state or federal government partners as we try to get through this pandemic. I mean, we should be have the reality that things are challenging right now, but particularly over the next 45 days, things are going to get worse
Yeah.
before they get better.
Yeah, Lisa, final word from you.
Yes.
And then also at the end of it, please let's let people know how they can get in touch with the Bronx Chamber of Commerce in the
Absolutely.
middle of this pandemic. Because guess what? Even though we might not physically be able to get into the office is working mobily.
Yes, we are working mobily. I have my team members with all the calls being routed to all our cell phones. So even if they call the office, we're available because we will be getting them personally. But what I am asking is anybody who has questions, like we need to be able to organize everything. We're asking to email us. Actually, you can email me directly. How's that? I know my staff is going to kill me at Lisa at bronxchamber.org, LISA at bronxchamber.org. And what we're asking for is provide us the questions, let us know what it is you're concerned about, so that we in turn partnered with the other chambers, with our amazing bid directors, especially Mike Brady, who's just an amazing ally. And then we will start getting that information out. Our website, bronxchamber.org, will always have every update. And then our social media platforms are strong. We are sending out as much as we can. For the members themselves, they get personalized emails, just because, my commitment is to them. But truthfully, my commitment is to any business that needs our help in the Bronx.
Lisa, thank you so much for your help.
Thank you.
Michael, you get the last word here. Give people some information as to how they can get in touch with the Third Avenue bid and what can we expect over the next short term.
Sure, absolutely. We've got the full bid team working remotely, but please do feel free to email. Lisa and I are in email and phone contact. It seems like all times from 9 in the morning till like 12 o'clock at night. But please email me at mbrady, BRADY, at third, THIRD Avenue, AVENUE bid, BID.org. So mbrady at thirdavenuebid.org, and visit our website, www.thirdavenuebid.org, for all COVID-19 updates, as well as on social media at Third Avenue Bid. We are really trying to make sure that reliable information is circulated,
Right.
and that our businesses are as informed as possible as they make some really tough decisions ahead.
Yep.
Well, we want to thank you guys both for sharing with us. Your voices are very critical in this time. We
Thank
will
you.
definitely want to bring you back, so that way the Bronx can be, especially our small business owners, can be in touch
Yes,
with you going forward. And also for us to be able to hear from you guys as to what you're hearing, and maybe we could also help to get some answers as well. So Lisa, Michael, thank you for the
absolutely.
great work you guys are doing, and
Thank
certainly we'll talk
you.
to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
This is
you.
important.
Yes, Lisa, thanks a lot.
Thank
Michael
you.
Brady, Lisa Sorin, president of the Bronx Chamber of Commerce. Michael Brady from the Third Avenue Bid. We thank them for being here on Open. We want you to stay with us. We do have more show coming up. We'll be right back right after this.